Fox News alert, there's fresh action in the Middle East. Iran's currently shelling military bases in Kuwait and Bahrain with ballistic missiles and drones. So far, all of them have been intercepted by U.S. forces. And now U.S. Central Command's responding with self-defense strikes on Qeshm Island, right at the hook of the strait. This all started earlier today when the Iranians began targeting commercial vessels in the Gulf with drones. We knocked all of them down. Our Navy also hitting back, blasting a blockade runner heading toward Karg Island. CENTCOM forces gave the ship, the Botswana-flagged MT Lexi, 24 hours to turn around. She didn't. So our Hellfire missiles pierced straight through her engine room. That's now the 6th ship disabled so far. The message is clear. If you want to test the blockade, you're going to pay. The mullahs still have some fight in them, and they're also showing new signs of life. For weeks, we didn't know if the gay Ayatollah was dead, hiding in his cave, or just getting a facelift. But now, for Pride Month, he's coming out.
Are you confident he's still alive, by the way?
Yeah, I think there's indications that, in fact, we've not heard from him publicly. We haven't seen him publicly. And I would imagine, given what's happened to multiple leaders in that system, being very public is probably not something that's recommended for them internally. But that said, I think there are indications out there that he is increasingly engaging at some level, although all of his communications have been in writing and through intermediaries.
Now that we know who we're talking to, we could see a deal at any moment. But the mullahs are slippery.
We are in talks. And I say talks because talks with Iran are not like talks with Switzerland. Okay? They're very different. The nuclear program.
The Iranians have a trick that they've been using for decades, the bazaar style. They keep talking and buying themselves time until you can't take it anymore. Haggling's all they have left. But Trump's not getting talked into a bad deal. And if the mullahs think they can wait us out, they might get another love tap. We're already on their doorstep. The USS Abraham Lincoln's still holding the blockade, turning around 122 ships and counting. So the mullahs are looking for help. They want Oman to enforce tolls on the strait. Trump's response? Pick a side, because everybody else already has.
There isn't a country on earth, other than Iran, and maybe Oman that flirted with it, who's in favor of what Iran is doing in the Straits. The Chinese are against it. The Russians are against it. Everyone is against it. The whole world is against it. So condition number one is they have to reopen the Straits.
The Omanis are looking pretty lonely, but the Democrats, they'll keep them company.
I also think that this very ill-planned, poorly conceived war in Iran that Trump is losing is also another way of holding him accountable because everybody sees it. He can't talk his way out of it.
They also think Trump and Rubio aren't focused on negotiations. Rubio's got, 8 jobs? But to them, he's just a DJ at Mar-a-Lago.
This is why I was shocked to see that you were at a party with President Trump in Miami instead of accompanying Vice President Vance to Pakistan for negotiations.
What party was I at? I was at a party?
It's publicly reported, and there's photos there.
But what party? No, but you're going to say that. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer that question because that's an absurd statement. I was not at a party.
The mission hasn't changed. Reopen the... Who knows what's next? John Teixeira is the former Deputy Undersecretary of Foreign Affairs and former Senior Defense Attaché in the Middle East. Okay, so tonight, a lot of action. Missiles, drones being intercepted by U.S. missile defense. But the Iranians, still kind of squirrely. What do you think?
Jesse, every time we've seen one of these cycles, this is the 4th one of these in the last week and a half, I firmly believe that it's Iran testing us in how we will respond. And in each case, we've been minimalist in our response. We've claimed over and above that the response is defensive in nature. And I think the only way we break that cycle is by using language that they understand, which is strength, capability, will, and resolve. And it's about time to re-engage in kinetic activities against Iran.
So you think drop the ceasefire, finish off the target list?
Jesse, I actually think that the first 6 weeks of operations against Iran were at the operational level, that we never really focused our strikes on the heart of the regime. And I think once President Trump realizes that Iran is going to continue to act and negotiate in bad faith, then now we take the strikes to the heart of the regime, the things that keep them in power, the things they value most. And I think that changes the strategic calculus and returns the initiative to us.
So you would focus on regime collapse through a full-blown aerial assault. You don't think the naval blockade, if you give it patience, would do the trick?
Jesse, I do think that the blockade has been massively, but the way that you accelerate that clock in our favor is to return to kinetic activity, again, at the strategic level.
When you hear that the gay Ayatollah is alive and kicking, well, kicking with one leg, he only has one leg, and Rubio says he's re-engaging, how do you interpret that?
Jesse, I'm pretty clear that you're not winning a war when 8 weeks into the ceasefire and the leader won't even show his face in public. But I do believe that the IRGC and the hardliners are trying to consolidate their power in Iran. They're the ones that have the guns and know how to use them. They're the ones that are the vanguard of the revolution. And they're the only ones, I think, that are talking to the supreme leader. And I think that the way you get their attention is through those.
Fox News FNC is a prominent American conservative news and political commentary television channel based in New York City. It is owned by Fox Corporation and has been one of the most watched cable news networks in the United States for many years. If you are looking for information on what they do or how to engage with them, here is a summary of their operations. Content and programming. News and commentary. Fox News provides 24/7 coverage of breaking news, political analysis, and business news. Its programming is well known for its evening opinion shows, which feature conservative commentary. Digital platforms. They maintain a website and mobile apps available on iOS and Android that provide live streams, on-demand videos, articles, podcasts, and real-time news alerts. Fox Nation. This is their subscription-based streaming service that offers exclusive content, original programs, and documentaries. How to watch television. The channel is available through most cable, satellite, and telecommunications providers in the U.S. Streaming. You can stream Fox News live through various platforms, including their own website, linked to fox.com, streaming services like Sling TV, or their dedicated mobile and TV apps. Public perception. Fox News has a significant presence in American media, but it is also a frequent subject of debate. Audience. It is widely recognized for its conservative editorial stance and is frequently cited as the most watched news network among conservative viewers in the U.S. Criticism. The network has faced criticism from various researchers and media observers regarding its editorial bias, with accusations of favoring the Republican Party and conservative causes. It has also been involved in several high-profile